John Dramani Mahama had a statement to be abeto abontene. It's exactly 6 p.m. That is 11 p.m. in Ghana. All right. Now, President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama, Eddie Asem abeto abontene. Now, what is it about? President Mahama orders forensic audit into 13th All-African Games. Auditor General to submit report by second week of December 2025. President Mahama Ede Emra anase waka asem a sasa na waka no ose eye Auditor General endi samra no so na o make sure say eye All African Games 13th eye den eye All African Games na omoye no Ghana no omote committee bi mo hwehwe sikasem nim na committee ni di om report koma eye President Mahama no na President Mahama say no die ohun ne die I was see a domusuko. Every say any nyan. Inti or the report no ediama Attorney General. Sorry, Auditor General. And I catch Auditor General say, oh mano till December, second week in December, onye be a friend forensic audit. You cast a forensic auditor. Kratano onye ni bako. Na ompenipa lie biano omun steady figure biano omundi echiri. Se 10 Ghana ne yi wa ha also mu di echira ko hu die 10 Ghana ne yeye ene ehun fa so e ba ye se yi 1 million a omundi echire enya bibia fa forensic audit you can say forensic auditor o ka se we 10,000 a o se ondi 10,000 echi nko hu ade pot ya 10,000 ne yeye and sa ade pot no se eyeye a ena ehun fa so aye nyaaye enti wa hye Auditor General no say All African Games now under MPP Nansenya almost spending almost close to $260 million. All African Games no Nanseng. President Mahama said Auditor General any forensic audit by second week of December muno on first report in Mbreno. Now okay say Auditor All African Games unuska on some spending. I'm spending close to $260 million. All African Games. No Legon Park. Now World Cup cry this World Cup. Sa All African Games way and yet say bedi to yere eye eduane one day oje $1 million. Mokai. The same All African Games 15 days no bedi to yere. From the allegations and the documentations about now bedio to oje $50 million for 15 days or ye 15 days. One day be oje $1 million. Now ade we aduane ma Somalia for any omon krama any omunenwie. So mugu say why ye aduane de koma Somalia wo de fa from afa car afa plane e de koma Somalia for now de bia ma omunenwie kura na udibie suo astoa. Are you going to spend $1 million a day on food? Now, Ebia Murefi All African Games, dear in Sambia, Omokekaye, this is the All African Games.
A monumental disaster and total embarrassment to our dear country. The Akufo-Addo Bawumia NPP government spent a staggering $240 million on the just ended games. Yet, the organization and management of the event was poor and shambolic. Quite apart from the fact that it lacked clear combined effect of economic viability, the organization of the games lacked clear-cut policies for tourism, promotion, and trade facilitation. We also approved 100 million Ghana cedis for goods and services for the LOC for operation this year, and then 50 million Ghana cedis for CAPEX for operation this year. So in total, 150 million Ghana cedis. And if you work that in dollars, it comes to roughly about $12 million. Now, the LOC is spending $48 million from the extra money. You have spent so much money and you have failed to deliver on what we all wish. How many will not be happy to see our athletes compete in this year's Olympic? that is going to be held in Paris this year. And you will see the number of cameras and viewers across the world who usually patronize us, the Olympics. And if we really understand the economics of it, if we appreciate.
So you see, you won't damage in no. So China forensic audit we ba na Attorney General STT brief Ghana for adekudientia ochidi pebia in nyan no be start. The Attorney General is judging cases on social media. They spent 100 million cedis on just goods and services. 100 million. And they spent 50 million for operations. Operations on what? Dan kweku ya boa. Akoya and the team we fu and the nimu fi okoware na nse ejani. Omu nyina disika ni bi. Dan kweku ya boa. Akoya yo TP self bia ono okoda committee bi so first one ene pamo no. Dan kweku ya boa ya why say jibi omu nyina disika ni bi. Omu nyina disika ni bi. Time etija no ablakwa start here expose no ena obetina Peace FM dan kweku yebo ajimijimi we akwawe akromfo
so sebi ben kata sebi mpo mo ye sebo mfa nkora mo fanye adwuma
we dey omampeni be kasa ntie monitor. First of all, let me respond to the release now honorable okuja to the babonte no now for other questions we are near the atwaso Africa edikan honorable okuja to here one member of parliament I really admire, and on the floor of parliament will make very cogent analysis. We can save Ghana football. Na me born say or make it very intelligent analysis. But maybe the who say season na a woman tea and a new money be or the buy because the intelligent okuja to I know the argument no the year analysis ne bu out to me say we the any da ho because Africa Elosia yeti no October 2020 almost 4 years na yedi. Na say we calculation now ka say LOC operational budget no ebia 18 cedis. Na African Games no be hosting from the 8th to the 23rd 18 days. Enti say ama LOC 18 cedi now person who how much LOC did in a day there. You divide 18 cedis by 18 days. But for me it is too simplistic. Because untumi nye sa analysis no say what the days na akana ye be host games no divide Ghana when you no aka say ninti LOC ne dey bia just when 33.4 million Ghana 33.4 million Ghana is now on my who do got this game 33 billion as of no a day na the day bia you come and say well is go I think say quite apart from that no I say a TS say African Games no Africa it's expensive and one was say ye independent 1957 na omampanin bia ntumi host African Games no unlike FIFA ne CAF ukwaje tournament na ono atuma osika for preparation no African Union rather takes money from the host nation. Ye sign protocol agreement ni wie ye no almost $2 million na omuji free Ghana nchen just after say akobe this year be host no which is a cost to the country. Africa ye host to 29 disciplines. 29 disciplines no ubeto equipment ama obia anti taekwondo a ubekra ho equipment say China na ubekra say Dubai o say Tokyo ubeshipe eba bedu yi e de ama omo say hockey sticks ubekra every federation bia na equipment bia no obligatory so man no okra na otua ho ka Africa anti-doping eke wo ho no according to WADA Ghana ni standard laboratory me van say Kofigo na wako to American ye suspect say wafo edura ye fan sample na Ghana is not allowed by WADA to take it to any laboratory. And you could you believe African Games near be no say first samples new year they call Switzerland laboratory akwahwehwem na say the results aba and the WADA standard one follow obeyi ni say games now be no world anti-doping and send him and the moment obeyi ni nsape to go game because we have say the athlete be bit make open ya betu mponko America. And no imagine say and no kra ho cost yesen what that the officials say ba e say we ticket plane ticket business class mo bia afiki yenya inaugurate yellows ni wie ye no na technical committee for the African Games nso ye te eno no ye AU for na artist committee no Omo adwuma ne se omo supervise games no. To omo ba inspection. Ne no more rounds from day one. Or baby or beji business class ticket. Or baby or better hotel na obetua. As we speak, games ni do so. Last week no mba town. Omo da hotel o man ni tua. Afiki transportation. So apart from air transport na obetua business class ni ade no. E say renting buses and Land Cruisers ni saloon cars to organize the games. Odi obi nsi abontino ngo bisa say o renting Land Cruiser back a day ya do saying. Now we renting over 300 vehicles. And they are transporting nipa nye one day o. Be 2 weeks. Afiki ehun ka enya sem ketwa. Catering over 5,000 athletes ni officials no. Obi abedi di anopa ewia ewumre Ghana ka. Now we am nipa 500 class say your party ofie mo ma. Go bisa event organizer say cost that you know the bebrew. We are no eto nchen the day to day running of the LOC. Even media nanzia ye semini yakoji San Lodge ye di buffet ka ho ko bisa San Lodge so de che yan. Enti no kura wo mni say African Games nyam fanhye tim say ka wo ho.
Oh,
menye adwin say
obi okase bi oye yesu bia no. Onia kromfo. Sa na okoda e committee bi so Black Stars no ye pamo no. Krono sa na omuni nemu a ye MPP aba ometena radio so a no mo kasa tie nipa no omo di Jimmy kakra no mo de ye on was starting the kasa no wonder on African Games no president bi eni wa wetime hosti no start ye nkwase politics ekufo na hosti yate sibia watwe wa no tintin a wo cheche nsemu ye de ko gina ko to betima cheche mu pa kromfo hwe enkofo we omo didi Ghana ho saa nimsam wagimi saa na mo start yo omo no go Black Stars the boys we saa boys we akwa me despite sisa so me go radio nkurase for boys we mu na go Black Stars no we mu no mo start say asamodwan adwene asamodwan is a fine gentleman. I've had my own issues with him. In fact, I advised Asamodwan when he was getting close to the NPP, and I was telling him, say, they will destroy him. The little investment he has, no, because they are bad people. I don't hate Asamodwan. The debate about whether he's a legend or not a legend was my opinion. But Asamodwan was a fine footballer. Yeah? When Asamodwan started coming up, we are starting who Asamodwan and Asankwasiafui penetrating Asamodwan. At a point, Asamodwan did not even respect John Mahama as the captain of the Black Stars. When Black Stars were at the World Cup, it wasn't the boys' fault too. It was these people. These were the people. No more can some good boys in the and it's like Kevin Presboatimo by who said, "We're more leeches." It's also gangue up against Kevin Presboatimo because Kevin Presboatimo they have the European training. They expect to say, so I did the table, so I can say the table, so men can say, wait, they're not chakakra. So they felt to say, if they are not able to get rid of those people, in the Southwest way, they ganged up, they destroyed the boys. Sa Dankokuya boy, on any group, no, they destroyed Asamwejan, they destroyed Bafojan, they destroyed majority of our players because I am konkonsa, any Jesse Obubenya, any Kakro Benya Film Korano. So the boys, no, if you know Asamoah from those times, he used to play Accra Academy. Asamoah will be made to. You people have no idea. Asamoah now our Accra Academy. Time and inter schools, no, I was there. Time and Asamoah born. Asamoah grew up. He grew up as a very humble boy. And time a star around the world. He was still humble. Until boys were penetrating here. Asamoah was still young when he became a millionaire. These are the people who destroyed Asamoah. And they made the boy a political player. At a point, let me tell you, time ago World Cup Asamoah Kobo, we know that Tornado was at his prime. Now he was almost exiting soccer. Asamoah, the confusion in camp. And a young Asamoah or no these senior players, but these boys, the boys, they infiltrated the camp. And they set the young boys against the big boys. They set these young boys and they go to the camp. They enter Black Stars camp. Hotel room. They are so it's a Black Star in Tokwesi Black Star camp. When the boys go to their hotels, these are boys who are entering their hotel rooms. No, how can we want some? No, how can we want some? He didn't take that shit. So at a point, they branded him because Sule Muntari Oba, he came to work for his money. If you're not going to be principled, he's not going to be principled. And these Asante 4 boys, Akam boys, they are the ones who destroyed the MP, the Black Stars. Look at what they are doing today, Ayo. And Omo carry side their way, and the other side about politics. And I'm the all African games into the Casano. All African games are expensive. Then since Ghana, independence, President Tibian to me organize it. He is trying to shift the idea. Say, Ekufuado na aba organize all African games. Into so mu disika kra ye. Into our MPP Nibiano. Your talking point should be that Ekufuado the buy near all African games. These are criminals. These are thieves. Into Black Star say, into recently that wall was built because Jordan Ayo no more chance. I'm be run hotel room and be conconsa. Yeah, as some see Brazil. Now the players were demanding. The president of the republic was on the phone. I want to talk to the captain. As someone can say no. How dare you? And you can't blame that young player, even though he wasn't a young kid. There were people who were telling him, "Man, the pressure. The president is protecting the integrity of the country. The president is trying to also keep the country's our excitement. What should he do? The whole world is looking at the team. Now the team is saying we are not going to step out and play. The president wants to just talk to the captain. As someone said no, because these boys were there. They were lying to the young man. And this before. The boys didn't even understand what was happening. So the president had no option. And one of the greatest mistakes John Mahama did in his political career. And he did it because of lack of experience. Because at that moment, John Mahama was not supposed to allow that to happen. They were supposed to walk back home. Then later we will know who disappointed Ghana. Because you see, how can a president just sit and say, players are going to Brazil? The president wanted to negotiate. The president wanted to speak to the leader of the team. But Sabo is we, Dan Kukuya Bwane, Omo Makani, you people know them all. They were the ones putting fire in it. Munji Sika Sisia, Yantem Sika Mamwa. The world is waiting. Ghana is doing well. The next day, the Ghana team does not show up on the field. How is it going to sell? You people in Ghana were all going to turn on the president. This is a young president, John Mahama. He wants to please his people. He wants to please his nation. What should I do?